Hear ye! Hear ye!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being patient while we worked on our technical difficulties. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We'll start with our Executive General Manager's report, please.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board, community. Sorry, I had to take a sip of coffee here. First on my report, I'd like to provide an answer to a question that was given at the last board meeting. The question was, as the reserve study, current and historical, this member noticed in 2020 the report shows about 48 plus items or 48 plus categories that have been changed to, in quotes, too small of an amount to include in reserves. These items must now be in operations. Can members get an explanation of when this decision was made and how much was moved to operation expenses? This probably means our reserves were lower than 62%. Now, actually, in 2016, the board approved a capitalization rate policy, and that rate was $2,500, which basically means individual items that are below this need to be expensed. Jason. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Still working through some typical technical items. So as the board made that change, items that were too small, like individually under 25, would be expensed through operations. Those include several items. Further, in 2019, the board expanded to include items that were less than 2 years of life. Those items would be expensed. This is the reason that you'll see when you look at the reserves, some items state too small to include in reserves. Now, I'm going to give you some updates on what's happening in the community, some election updates. Getting some more technical.
Are we good?
I think we're good. Okay, continuing. Election updates. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to get through this together. Currently, staff is working with inspectors of election to prepare for the annual election that is on April 14th. There are 8 candidates running for 3 open board positions. The list of those candidates is located on the website. Now, the Meet the Candidates Forum will be held on March 4th at 10 a.m. Due to the pandemic and some of the restrictions that we have about large gatherings, this will be streamed live as well as recorded. Now, I ask that you please check the website and Good Day Sun Lakes for more details as we'll go over what platform that we will be placing this on live, either Facebook Live, YouTube Live, so stay tuned for that. Rule changes. At tonight's meeting, the board will be reviewing some potential rule changes, as well as a potential ballot item to address the CC&Rs to comply with AB 3182. We also issued press releases with details of the rules and CC&R amendments. Our goal, as future rules are placed on agenda, there will be a corresponding press release issued at the same time that provides details to the members on what those rule changes or CC&R amendments will be. Working with the City of Banning. Jason and I have been working with the City of Banning City Manager to seek placement of solar lights in the northeast quadrant of the executive course near Hole 5 and the tee box on Hole 6. This has been an area where we've seen some incursions, people coming into the community through the fence, and so we wanted to get some lighting out there. We're also working with the city to address the electrical boxes. I know a lot of members have contacted me, those green faded boxes that are out there, and they've stated that the HOA should take care of that. Unfortunately, those boxes are the responsibility for maintenance operation with the City of Banning Utility. Now, we've worked with the city manager. We're working on that as we speak to see if we can assist them. What we can do so we can get that addressed, because I know a lot of homeowners are very upset about that. So there's more information to come on that. Golf update. I would like to report that golf memberships have increased in 2021. Championship memberships increased 17% to 240 annual memberships. And the executive memberships increased 18% to 59 annual memberships. The annuals purchased these annuals purchased are close to the 2018 levels, so that is good. In next month's general manager report that you can find on the website, I will include a graph that represents the annual golf purchased each year for the last 10 years. This is an item we use during the budget to see where we have been, where we're trying to predict where we're going, so I will present that in the next GM report that you can find online. Permanent guest list review project. Now, on-site staff and community patrol are performing an audit of the permanent guest list. Now, as a reminder, in 2017, the board passed a policy that permanent guest lists cannot exceed 5 guests. Now, as we review the list and find variances, staff will reach out to the members and to advise them that they're not in compliance and try to assist them by bringing their list down to 5 or less. Now, veranda service coming soon. The board has directed that the veranda be reopened for outdoor food service at the end of March. Good news. On-site staff is working to onboard new baristas, servers, cook, dishwashers, and we've also procured outdoor heaters because we know the temperature will be a little cold, so we want to keep the members out there warm and toasty. The menu will be revised to add items such as a breakfast burrito. Now, the current plan is to open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Curbside and delivery service would continue during this time as well, and hopefully in the future. Also, the board is looking to open the coffee bar at the Sandwich in the mornings to serve coffee, danishes, and other breakfast items. Stay tuned to our website and Good Day Sun Lakes as we get closer to the late March opening. There'll be more details to come. Finally, some project updates. On-site staff is working with the board on reserve and new projects that will occur in 2021. Those updates will be given during these types of GM reports and also the report that I'm going to be revamping and put online. And so look to the association's website, some updates in lifestyles, and this meeting as well as Good Day Sun Lakes interviews. Those will be coming soon. Thank you, everyone. Take care and stay safe. Now, Jason, I believe, may have some other updates, or no? None. Perfect. Madam President, that completes the Executive General Manager's report.
Thank you. Now we'll, the report on the executive session.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everyone. This report will give the community an update on actions that were taken by the board at the executive session meetings on February 10th, February 12th, and February 24th, 2001. At which time litigation, member discipline, formation of contracts, and personnel matters were discussed. First off, with member matters, the board reviewed 8 show cause hearings. The board reviewed 2 homeowner requests for fee waivers, denying the hard costs on both. The board reviewed and denied a member request for an overnight parking variance. The board reviewed and approved 3 member requests for an annual golf refund. The board reviewed the extension on holiday lights and decided to end the extension starting March 1st. The board interviewed a member for the Financial Advisory Committee. Now with legal, the board reviewed and approved the minutes from the January 27th and February 10th, 2021 executive sessions. The board approved the F&B and golf receivables as of January 31st, 2021, as well as the assessment account receivables as of January 31st, 2021. The board approved a foreclosure on lien and recorded the notice of default on the following: APN 440-330-014 and APN 419-320-061. The board received updates from legal counsel on the civil code additions that will affect Sun Lakes. Now for formation of contracts, the board received updates from the management company on a number of items. The board approved management to reach out to architects to meet with the board in regards to expanding the lounge. The board approved the purchase of 10 portable heaters to be used on the veranda when it opens up for food service in March. The board approved to investigate the cost of having solar-powered motion lights along the exterior perimeter of the north side where it backs up to the open undeveloped land. The board approved an emergency repair of the main and south pool decks. This is on tonight's agenda for ratification. The board discussed the replacement and restrapping of some pool furniture. This item is on tonight's agenda for final approval. The board discussed getting community input on the Gate 2 fountains. The renderings have been posted on the website and Facebook in addition to an e-blast being sent out. The board approved the addition of a new general ledger account, 14000RA, for recovered assessments. The board reviewed and approved an emergency repair to the drainage on Championship Course hole number 4. This will be ratified at the March 24th open session. And finally, the board approved the Charity Week schedule as well as the coupons for the ball drop. This will be formally ratified and approved at the March 24th open session. And that completes the executive session actions.
Thank you. For the city of Banning, you do have a report. Okay. Mr. Schultz will be coming on in just a second or two. He can't hear. It's got. Ask.
This is a $200 million investment. It's a film production studio. There will be 16 sound stages, a brownstone neighborhood development for filmmaking, 8,000 jobs. And we've been working with this developer from San Diego for several months now at the staff level, and have reached a point where we do have the exclusive negotiation agreement in place with him. We have started the environmental process, and his timeline is quite aggressive. We're hoping that we can actually get through the environmental process in a timely manner. He would like to start construction in 12 months. The airport will continue to operate and function as a municipal airport. So there will be improvements to the hangars, to the office spaces, and we actually anticipate that there will be increased activity at the municipal airport as a result of this development. So obviously with a development of that size comes a significant amount of infrastructure improvements, including transportation. So we are working with the state of California to obtain funding. The state treasurer has actually been very involved in the project up to this point and has offered to provide financial assistance to the city as well as to the developer. One of the issues here is that the state of California has lost a lot of film industry jobs and business, and the state recognizes that loss, and they have actually worked with this developer to retain those jobs and film industry growth here in California. The developer was actually looking at buying Tyler Perry's studio in Atlanta, and when the state treasurer heard this, she contacted him and encouraged him to keep his business in California and look at the city of Banning. So we were extremely excited to receive that news, and anticipate now that the news is out that we will start seeing a significant interest in development of businesses that will support the film production industry, which could bring higher-end hotels, restaurants, boutique shops to our downtown area. So very exciting news on that front. Sun Lakes Boulevard extension, probably another topic of interest to Sun Lakes. That project continues to move forward. We are moving through the environmental process, the biological studies. March 15th to April 15th is an important window for biological studies. That is the time frame that we can do burrowing owl and kangaroo rat studies. And that's one of the pieces that needs to be done before we can move through the permitting process for Sun Lakes Boulevard extension. We still have a timeline of hopefully completing the design work later this year and see construction starting in early 2022. Along with that, we have a development moving forward on the 500 acres that is just to the east of Highland Home Road and extends from the interstate south to Bobcat Road and east to Sunset. Initially, the area adjacent to the interstate off of Sunset will be first to develop. That's the commercial area. And my understanding in talking with the developer is his focus is on more of the entertainment type commercial rather than a lot of the shopping type commercial that Beaumont has developed on the west side of Highland Springs. We also have the 47 acres on the north side of Sun Lakes Boulevard. It's the McCrae Group out of Arizona developing that. They plan to move forward, are moving forward on a fairly rapid basis. And that is a mixed-use development that will have some retail, commercial, including potentially some restaurants. It will have office space and some light industrial space toward the back end or the interstate side of that property. So that's kind of some of the highlights that we've got going on. There's some other projects that you've heard about in the past that I won't go into, but just let you know that the Banning Distribution Center has started construction. Estes Trucking will be starting construction in March or April. So those are two very large projects coming to the city. Are there any questions?
Any questions from the board? Okay. Do we have any questions from the audience? Nothing? Okay. No questions, Doug. Thank you for the report, and it sounds very exciting for the city of Banning. Thank you. Okay. Any reports from the sub-associations? No reports. Okay. Delegate Assembly?
Yes, indeed. We have a report from the Delegate Assembly Chairman, Joe Firmino. The report from the February 11th, 2021 meeting. The Delegate Assembly received a report from the Sun Lakes Charitable Trust informing that the community will be planning for a charity week to be staged June 7th through June 13th. Much of the planning, of course, depends on the rules enforced by the state of California regarding the pandemic, After reports from the Departments of Recreation and Food and Beverage, there was a discussion about the candidates forum for the Board of Directors. It was decided to appoint a committee to review the questions submitted to the candidates. The committee members are Evelyn Hawkins, Lily Leowitz, Susan Howie, and Linda Earl. The plan was to request questions from the members of the HOA, and the committee would review the questions to make sure that they were fair for all candidates. The next item had to do with Spectrum. It was stated that Spectrum agreed to a $9.99 monthly fee for a telephone landline. If your bill states more, call Spectrum. They will adjust your monthly charge. That completes the report from the District Delegate Assembly.
Thank you. Okay, is Ron on for the Treasurer's report?
We do have Ron Varner on, and Ron, you're good to go.
Jason, you're hard at work there.
You're on, Ron.
You're on, Ron.
Okay, I'm having a little trouble on the audio, but if everyone can hear me, I'll proceed with the January Treasurer's report. And I'm very happy to report that net income for the month of January was $153,306, and that was $87,015 better than budget. Positive variances are due to HOA utilities being lower than budget, one of which is an electrical, apparently from the city of Banning. We had a expense that was a credit. Also, water and cable were very positive, and the cable was due to just the changeover and not having a full billing on that, which will change next month. All other expenses were on or better than budget, other than golf was just slightly over budget, a couple $1,000. And administrative expense was slightly over budget due to labor expenses. Of concern is the continuing closure of the restaurant. Net food and beverage operations were slightly worse than budget, again, due to the closure. The budget anticipated a full open of the restaurant and lounge starting in January. But of concern is our current operations are operating at significantly greater than the percentage of food and labor costs that were budgeted. And that's at about 80% worse. So that's a concern. We'll be monitoring that. Food and beverage operations are being monitored on a weekly basis. So hopefully we can stay on top of that until we can not only get the veranda open, but also get the restaurant and lounge opened again. Revenue reporting for January was based on FASB 606, and how that works is we can only report revenue as we spend the money, and spending was down, so revenues were down, and that reduction in spending also helped create the very positive variance. Balance sheet remained very strong in January. Total assets increased from $13,135,969 to $13,738. And the good news is that increase was primarily cash and cash equivalents. Operating cash at month end was $923,659 versus current liabilities and accrued payroll of $727,552. So the community stays to be in good financial shape, and we'll continue to be on top of that. Any questions?
Any questions from the board? Any questions from the audience? No? Okay. No questions, Ron. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Let's stay on, Ron, because we need you for the Finance Advisory Committee update. We do have committee reports, Madam President.
I'm sorry. Chris, say that again.
Okay, you want me to do that now, Chris?
We have committee.
Okay, all right. Okay, go ahead, Ron, and give the Financial Advisory Committee update.
Okay, the committee just wanted to update the community on the fact that there is a live and living Finance Advisory Committee. We're adding members. We soon, hopefully, will be at our full complement of 7 members. The Finance Advisory Committee, for those in the community that aren't aware of it, was put back from being on ad hoc status to full status. I think we finally got underway about the middle of last year. There is a revised charter for the Finance Advisory Committee, and the Finance Advisory Committee obviously works at the behest of the Board of Directors, but the responsibilities for the Finance Advisory Committee are: 1, assist with the preparation and review of annual budget direction to management. We were involved in that for last year and for this year's budget. 2, to assist with the preparation and review of the annual budget. Again, we participated in that. And 3, review periodic financial reports and operating data for the HOA. We are doing that on a monthly basis. We receive the financial statements. We are reviewing the financial statements and interfacing with management regarding any issues in the financial statements or concerns that may be there regarding any trends or things that we think need to be addressed. The 4th is review the annual reserve study update, which we have done. And along with that, we have recommended, it was approved by the board, that for a reserve request expenditure policy and procedure that is underway. So the Finance Advisory Committee, along with the management, are reviewing all requests for expenditures. So the budget appropriates that expenditure, and then there's an approval process that goes through in order to provide the ability to expend funds. The 5th is research financial aspects of other projects. These are projects designated to us by the board, which we have a number underway, which I'll speak to just in a minute. We are charged with the responsibility of reviewing all financial policies, procedures, and practices used by Sun Lakes Country Club. Currently, one that's we are working on is a review of the investment policy and procedure, which is very restrictive now, and due to interest rates going down is resulting in very limited return on our investments. So we have been working with Merrill Lynch, and that's Bank of America, and recently we are working with our current investment group that we use to revise our investment policy. We expect to have a recommendation to the board probably within the next couple of weeks to revise our investment policy to allow investment in other very low risk investments that should help get us a bigger return on investment by maybe a couple $100,000 a year. We also will be working on the audit and looking at that, and hopefully FASB 606 will become history to us and we can get back and more simplify our reporting. Currently, we are working on initiatives including the review of reporting on monthly financials and reserve spending and investment policy We will continue to be involved in the food and beverage. We don't know if the task force is going to continue, but if not, we'll pick up where the task force left off on all the issues pertaining to food and beverage, and hopefully getting our food and beverage operations back to being able to comply with our budget and cost of the amenity. And of major initiative will be golf. We'll be looking at golf, both revenues, expenses are what they are, but we think there's going to be an opportunity to increase our revenues, and that'll be something we'll be working at through the year. So that's just an update on the Finance Advisory Committee. We're very active. We've got a wonderful group of very experienced people that are here to support both the board and management of our community. Any questions?
No, other than Ron, the restaurant task force will continue. We have not met, but I'm going to have a meeting in March. I have to reach out to them. We were waiting because we haven't been doing anything. We've gone through with the curbside and that and the home delivery, but we will meet and giving them what's coming up, and then when the new board, waiting for the new board to come in, and they will continue, but that task force will stay in place.
Okay, then Sandy will continue to be a participant in that committee, and hopefully it will be very productive, and we'll continue to see good progress in food and beverage.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for the in-depth report. I'm sure the residents like to hear everything that you just told them. And again, thank your committee, and the board is very appreciative of all the work you guys have been doing.
Okay, thank you.
Madam President, we do have another committee report from the Master Architectural Committee. I will read it on behalf of David Keeley, the chairperson, who submitted this report to me. Painting your house. On the Sun Lakes website, guidelines for painting your house are located in the Planning and Compliance section. There you will find the paint palette and can download the Home Improvement Paint Application Form. This application must be submitted and approved by the Master Architectural Committee prior to the painting of the exterior of the home. Be aware, only the registered homeowner of a property may sign an application for review, and no painting may begin until a homeowner's application has been approved and a permit card has been issued. A final note, wood trim surfaces are to be painted every 4 years, and stucco surfaces are to be painted every 16 years. As required per Article 7, Section 7.22 of the Architectural Standards and Guidelines. Wrought iron must be painted black or to match the trim and/or stucco of the home. That completes the report from the Master Architectural Committee.
Thank you. Any other committee reports?
No, Madam President.
Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. Is there any item that a board member would like to pull? Saying none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move that we approve the consent items as written.
I second that.
I have a first and second. All in favor? Aye. Passes 4-0. What, on the consent agenda, again, we approved the open session meetings for January 27th of 2021. We had the ratification of reserve expenses of the following. Let me get to that. I should have that up. Okay. First, annual repair to the main clubhouse deck is no longer covered by warranty. The repairs, maintenance, and paint are covered under the reserve account. Attached, we had a detailed expenditure support and corresponding reserve support. And we're going to have Mark come up and, no. Well, no, I'm sorry, I'm jumping. He's going to talk about the, right, page 5. Let me get to the right page. Okay. What we ratified is on the fixing on the decks of the, boy, I had this all together originally, excuse me, on the main and south pool where the sun deck, there was chipping, there were bits and pieces chipping, and so they had sun deck come in at a cost of $7,490. It was originally charged to operations, and we're here to vote to ratify it to be paid out of reserves. So I'll entertain a motion. I already did. Okay, so this is the one we don't. This is where we get confused. Okay. Actually, just to give you some history on this, back in 2014, when the whole decks were done, it was at a cost of $67,000, and by periodically pressure washing and recoating, it will restore the appearance and prolong the need for major restoration or replacement. And why we did this now is so it's ready to go before we open up the pools. And what happens is when people, it's just certain areas as you get in and out, especially the spa and so forth, everyone has different lotions on them, whatever you buy, and those chemicals, it drips off, and believe it or not, it gets underneath that coating, and then pretty soon between that and the weather, it starts to chip. And so we went ahead and ratified and had that completed. The second thing was that we ratified was an upgrade of the alarm for the RV lot and their video surveillance there at a system in the amount of $12,594. Also, we ratified, it was originally charged to operations. We voted and ratified and changed it to be paid out of reserves. And of course, this was done by Valley Alarm. And so now what was replaced over there, I'll read that to you. I'm not sure if they have this. Were 6 2MPIP cameras, 3 NEMA boxes, 6 wireless data transmission units, 4 PoE switches, 1-year parts and labor warranty on all Valley Alarm installed equipment. The scope of the work, they installed those cameras to view the east side of the property, and the wireless video transmission units and connections to the existing internal internet service. 1 existing camera near the front entry will be repositioned to cover the south entry area. And there's a Video Insight IP license for existing recorder, which are not included in this proposal. Now, does this also include, Chris, the lease option of this $368 per month? Does it include, Mark? We're not under lease. Okay. Thank you. Okay. We read the other approval for on the ratification was the appointment of the committee members. As you recall, the board voted to allow the members to come back 1 more year since we've been closed down because of COVID. Many of the members did come back on their committees. Some chose not to, and the committees have either already interviewed and sent in names for approval or are in the process of that. And I'm going to read the names, and I'm just going to read the names and the committees they're on, and I want to thank all of them for their service and coming forward. And let me get to that page, which is 5. Okay, these are the following. For EPAP, Sally Jo Schwartz. For the FAC, Harry Finnegan. The Lifestyles Committee, Connie Kuttner, Judy Garthwaite, Raylene Kretschmann, Jeannie Lloyd, Robin Warner, Marcia Gold, and Gloria Pena. The Safety Committee, Bill Bess, Chuck Massey, Janice McFarland, David Amar, Michael Smith, Alan Vaughn, and Mike Volz. I believe those are all at this time, correct? So that's all on my list. And next, the approval of the resolution to pre-lien and lien delinquent accounts. And Chris, do you want to read those, or do you want me to? Okay.
Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, we only have 2 accounts on the delinquent or the resolution to record a lien. Those account numbers are 2176-01, 2421-01. That completes the list to resolution to record a lien on those account numbers.
Good. We also, on the consent agenda, approved the receive and file of the January 31st, 2021 financials. And that's all that's on the agenda, on the consent agenda. So we will move on to 10, new business, 10A, which is the waterfall, Gate 2 waterfall and rendering review. And I'm going to have Mark come up and talk. As he's coming up, I want to announce, I did receive an email. There was misunderstanding for some people. They were reprimanding myself and the board, stating that, again, we authorized this approval for Gate 2 without their having any input. We have not approved anything. It's been posted. The pictures are posted. We're asking for your input, and we'll get into that shortly. But again, if you were listening or at the last meeting, you would have heard that, and we're going to give you more information again tonight.
Welcome, community. So on the Gate 2 fountains, I know a number of you have received the e-blast. It's also posted on the website, but for those that haven't had the time to look at either, I'll give you a quick rundown of what's going on. So for the Gate 2 exits, this has been a reserve item that I have deferred over the last 3 years, so it is past its useful life. In that time, we've experienced a number of issues with pumps, motors, and impellers failed. The liner, most recently, the last 2 years, has had some leakage, so we're having water loss as well. So we entertained the idea to go out, seek some formal bids, which we have done that. The board has been presented those. We are looking at the replacement of both sides, and that's the full equipment replacement as well. But one of the biggest things that is affected by this is the removal of existing pine trees. And none of us want to see the trees gone, but unfortunately, to complete the project, it is without doubt that this has to be done. There's a total of 15 pine trees, and those pine trees, the debris that's left and dropped behind has had a major impact on the current fountains and the equipment behind it. So we continue to have impellers and motors that are clogged, strainers and baskets that are full. So moving forward, we will replace that in the upcoming revisions. There'll be a replacement of 15 trees to replace the ones that will be taken. But so we have posted, Jason's got a couple of the renderings posted. Nothing is concrete yet, as Sandy had stated earlier. We're up for ideas, and we'll take those over the next month. I know that Sandy and Chris Mitchell, the general manager, will be answering those calls, and we'll listen to what you have. And I believe a month from now, the board will make the decision to go forward with this or not. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. I want to let you know, you do have until, because we will bring this back at the open on March 24th to vote on. So you have between now and then to tell us what you would like. You have 2 pictures or renderings which are posted on the website. It's on Channel 97 and on Good Day Sun Lakes, I believe. So you can look at that. Tell us if you have some ideas of what trees you would like to be replaced back there, if you would like different plants than what is shown on these 2 pictures. You can email me at my Sun Lakes address, which is sandra.moyer@sunlakescc.com, or email Chris at c.mitchell@firstserviceresidential.com, and both those email addresses are in Sun Lakes Lifestyle, so you can, page 2. And remember that we're asking for your input, but remember we're going to talk with the architecture too, who knows the plants and what will work there, because we don't want to put something in there that turns around and does the same thing that those pine trees did and clogs up the motors and the pumps. But we do want your input. We have not approved the final rendering yet. So please look at the pictures that were presented to you, and you have other thoughts on what you think trees or palm trees or whatever would look best back there. Please, again, email either myself or Chris with those. And there's 3 pictures? I only have 2. Oh, there's 3? Okay. But the pictures, they look beautiful. So does anyone else on the board have any comments they'd like to make?
No, I think it looks outstanding. We just need to get input from the homeowners here as to what their opinions are. But I do like the renderings, and the vast improvement over what we currently have. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions from the audience?
One question.
Okay.
Really need to know bid options. Is there more than one plan and option?
I'm sorry. Is there more than one?
It says really need to know bid options. Is there more than one plan and option?
More than one plan or option. We received 3 proposals. As far as renderings, is that what they're asking?
I would say so.
I believe that if they're referring to the renderings,
Like Plan A, B, and C.
that's what these are.
And then the other question was, how much is the cost projections?
Well, we haven't received,
Don't know that yet.
we don't have that.
We'll be giving
Well,
that.
it hasn't been presented to us yet.
Right.
The bids have not. Mark has secured bids, but they have not been presented to us yet. And those may vary depending on what the residents, what you come back with as far as wanting to change or apply to this, to Gate 2. But we wanted to give you, we asked for some renderings so we could get an idea, and you can, of what can be done over there. And if you like what you see, tell us. If you like parts of it and want to add, that's where we're asking your input, and then we'll go from there. Any other questions? No? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Okay. Next is review and discuss funding request for the Main and North Clubhouse outdoor furniture. And we received 3 proposals for 25 new pool umbrellas, 25 iron umbrella bases, 64 Chase lounge chairs that are in need of restrapping, and 10 replacement armchairs for the Main and North Clubhouse pools. The 3 bids that were presented ranged from $17,785 to $28,956. And the company that was chosen was Seabreeze at, where'd we go here? At a cost of $21,020.63. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we authorize the reserve fund expense of $21,020.63.
I will second that.
Okay, discussion from the board. Any questions from the audience? And the umbrellas will not be brown. Elise promised. She's picking out some pretty colors. So no questions from
That was the one question, what color was chosen?
I believe that you said red? Red.
Yeah, it's like a terracotta to match the existing furniture on the veranda, the cushion
Veranda.
cover.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I have a first and second to approve Seabreeze at a cost of $21,020.63, which will be paid out of reserve funds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0. Next, we have our proposed rule changes, and I'll let Chris read the first one, which refers to our golf course dress code change to allow non-blue denim on the golf course.
Thank you, Madam President, Board, and community. As was issued in the press release, this first rule change for tonight, and this again is the approval for the first reading for 28 days. The board then would come back at the March 24th meeting and either approve or deny the rule change. Now, the proposed rule change, basically the purpose of it is to add certain denim as an acceptable piece of clothing on the golf course. Further, if this is adopted at the March 24th meeting, it would go effect April 1st, 2021. And the rule would allow denim except for blue jeans and blue denim clothing on the golf course. So, Article 8, Golf Course Rules and Regulations, Section 8.02, Sun Lakes Country Club Golf Course and Facilities Dress Code, would be modified to read as the following. Unacceptable apparel for men or women includes the following: tank tops, halter tops, spaghetti straps, fishnet tops, t-shirts, cutoffs, cotton fleece sweatpants with elastic at the bottom, gym running shorts, bathing suits, or blue jeans and blue denim clothing, or flip-flops. So this is on tonight's agenda for the board to approve the 28-day reading. And that completes the update on this rule change, Madam President.
I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the proposed rule change to be put out for a 28-day reading to the membership.
I second that.
Any discussion on this rule from the board? Any questions or comments from the audience?
We do have some, and members, I highly encourage, if you have the opportunity when the agenda comes out, to submit your questions to either Jason Ewalls or myself. Our email addresses, again, are on Lifestyles page 2. I did receive a couple of comments from members. One member objected to the golf course dress code change regarding denim. Another member stated, I have a few questions regarding the changes to the golf course attire rules. Why? I believe most courses have the no jeans rule. I personally think it's a good rule and keeps a good-looking aspect to our golf course participants. Those were two that were emailed. Jason, do we have any more that have been submitted?
I do. I have one from Zoom. One second here. The question is, what exactly is the need to allow denim on the course? How many golfers have expressed a desire for this? Will there be a color guide to show when blue becomes gray, black, or green? What is blue When is blue not blue?
This was addressed several years ago, and it was taken to the different groups, to golf groups, clubs to vote on, and they all agreed that no blue jeans or the blue jean type denim, but there are denim pants out there that don't really look denim. I mean, you really have to look to realize they're denim, that golfers wanted that are nice looking denim, black, red, whatever, that are a heavier weight that they want to wear in the wintertime because it's warmer. That's the way it was presented, and that's what was presented to us. It was never put in writing, but the clubs voted to allow that. It was just never put in writing. So we brought it forward to put it into the rule, and that's how it came about. Okay? But we will take those comments that we do have into account, and you have until the next 28 days before our next open meeting to submit your comments on this as well.
And if I can just dovetail on that, so please, members, concerns for or against, please email them to myself, Jason Ewalls, or Tammy Morgan, so that we can provide that to the board. As you've seen these two that were emailed, we've provided that to the community as well as the board, and we would like to know the members' opinion.
Okay, so I have a first and second to approve the 28-day reading. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Okay, the next proposed rule reading is on the mandatory point of sale system. Chris?
Thank you. And as an added bonus for those members who are joining us this evening, please break out the popcorn, your favorite adult beverage, as I'm going to do a PowerPoint presentation not only regarding the rule, but also provide the update to the point of sale system. So with that, Jason, let's begin. Bob, are you ready to go? Bob is ready. So first, our current point of sale system. Right now, we have food and beverage operations as well as golf pro shop operations using Club Essentials. Now, Club Essentials, you hear that word? That is the current provider that we're using, and this is also the company that we would look to upgrade with. Now, primarily, it's based on sales transactions, like a cash register with reports that come from it. Ordering, paying for food, beverages at the bar, lounge, the pro shop products, or golf rounds. We use the current system for ID cards to identify the member. Now, all the tee times and banquet schedules are done on paper, a little archaic. All transactions must be done at the register, meaning, and as many members have complained, that the restaurant attendant server takes the credit card, swipes it in the back, and returns to the table with the card. The pro shop has to, for a purchase, run to the pro shop, swipe the card through the POS system, and go back out to the member. Everything has to be done at a fixed location. Recreation does not utilize at the POS system, the point of sale system. It is currently using their planning, their program software, but the cash collection is not done through the point of sale system. And all transactions are processed through our on-site Club Essential server. Now, next page. Jason, I don't have a clicker. So, okay, thank you, sir. No, quite all right. We're doing things with technology and without. That's okay. So, what will the upgrade really accomplish? Well, transaction processing will be moved to the cloud. In essence, all the transactions will be done on a Club Essential servers located in the cloud. The advantage of that, power goes out in the administration building, the server goes down. That has happened. No transactions can occur. If I have problems with the server itself, it fails. No transactions can occur. By moving to the cloud, we are able to continue through our internet service provider to access that data and conduct transactions. Also, and this has been, many members know, and I can name a few of the members. Ken Johnson, this is a shout out to you, who have come up to the board and asked, when can we get a mobile app? Ken, I got you covered. We are working on that. And that is part of this package. Also, scheduling will move from a paper-based system. Golf tee times, lesson scheduling can be done through the website or the mobile app. Food orders can be processed through the website or the mobile app. Again, we're moving into the 21st century. Okay, the next slide. Now, again, what will the upgrade accomplish? Members' historical purchases will be available through the website or app. Right now, if I don't remember what I purchased last year, I have to call Kelly in the accounting office and say, Kelly, I don't have a copy of it. I don't remember. Can you print out a copy? Kelly has to do that. That is not how we work in the 21st century. You should be able to go on your account and see what your historical purchases have been. Also, this will expand Sun Lake's reporting. Golf course data such as rounds played, products purchased, and lessons history will now be recorded on a report. Right now, Brian has to record all of the golf rounds that are done for the day on paper, run to the computer at the end of the day, manually input them into an Excel document, and update it. Again, that is an archaic way of doing things. This will automatically, you have a tee time, I know who it is. It also will help us track annual members' usage. Because, as an annual member, how many rounds did you cover? Well, I don't know. You're an annual member, so I just write annual member. I don't know how many rounds you actually played. That'd be good to know. Also, food and beverage. Ordering detail like the patrons, entrees served, sales history will be there. Right now we have some data that we can get from the system, but I'd like to know how many people were at that table. Because sometimes it may say 5 entrees were served. Great. Was that just 2 people? Were there 5 people? If you'd like to know that, this system will allow it. Next page, please. So here's a system layout. Again, this is really meant for Ken Johnson, and that's positive because he's a good guy. Ken, this is a system layout and public of kind of how the layout will be for the system from the public website, Sun Lakes, through a customer relationship CRM product that lets me know what the members are doing. It lets Brian, now not to say Brian and the rest of the golf team over there know their members well. They're getting to know them, what you like, the colors. Marcia likes pink, for example, so I would know, hey, it's something pink, new in the pro shop. I got to find Marcia to try to sell it. But we would like to have that experience with all the members. Best way to do that is have a history of it. I know here on site what you like, what your specific thing you like in the restaurant. So I can tailor what we're serving, tailor our options to our members. The website. So we work with the app, that information feeds in there. I can then send out, we're already now doing e-blast, but again, we can add this piece to the Club Essentials platform, email sales information. Hey, we're having a blowout sale like Brian did last year, half off. Information, also mobile ordering feeds into that. So I want to order from the app so that I'm coming around the turn, I want to stop by and get a hot dog, chips. I'm going to do mobile ordering through the app. Yes. Club events, reservations. So the reservations actually, it can accomplish, and when we're looking at this, we have unfortunately historically used many different types of software instead of trying to consolidate to one. By consolidating, you save money. License fees can be reduced. You also save knowledge base that, good, I know how the system runs. I know how it will work over here, this place, etc. Instead, I have to learn what Elise's software does in recreation. I have to know what Club Essentials does, and why not consolidate it to one? So we have the opportunity to do reservations not only in the restaurant, not only on the golf course with tee times, lessons, but possibly, and We can expand it to recreation. This system is so robust that we can even expand if we wanted to reserve tennis courts, bocce, whatever. We can do that. Rooms. I'm going to reserve the ballroom. I'm going to reserve the bus room. They have that ability within this software. Again, all in one. Again, member communication, the PayCloud. This is the platform for the processing of credit cards. So it is all in one. I don't have to go to a third-party provider, and I don't know what that means. So, okay. I'm sorry, I'm getting signals from Bob. Either he's asking me and Lee to get the cane to pull me off stage, but actually they're saying hooray, so that's good. But again, this third-party processor we have in the past worked with ClubSoft, which is a software that's issued through Club Essentials, but we've also had to then go to a third-party provider for credit card transaction. By upgrading and using Club Essentials and PayCloud, again, all in one, they do it all. Now the mobile, you'll be able to have the iPads used. We'll be able to roll out, and this is very important. The server will be able to take that iPad and at the table punch in the order, can see your ID card and identify you instead of taking your ID card back to the back room, looking on the computer, and coming back. It's handled. It can go out to the veranda. It means Brian can go out to the area outside the pro shop if they're having a vendor day and sell right there instead of, wait, give me your credit card. Trust me, I won't charge anything else. I'm going to run back to the office, and then I'm going to come back. Really inconvenient. Members don't like that, and in an age where we're trying to move to touchless transactions, we are moving toward that. Again, we'll have the food and beverage, golf, moving recreation to point of sale. Oh, I'd like to buy comedy night. Here, let me punch in a ticket, punch in your order, give you a receipt. It's tracked in the system. We'll be able to see some of the information that we get and kind of predict, is our sales improving? Not. If we do a sales promotion, is it really showing that, hey, it's working well? We'll have that membership analytics. Again, the credit card payments, membership billing. So now helps Kelly with her billing for house accounts. And then lastly, on the back end is the general ledger reporting. Right now, Kelly has to take from what she gets from Club Essentials and input that data into an Excel document, then email that Excel document to First Service Corporate so that they can update the general ledger. That wastes time. Come on, we've got to get in the 21st century. So again, this reporting will dump into a file that then can be immediately sent to corporate. Kelly, we don't have to worry about a key error. It's downloaded from the system and sent to corporate. That's, again, great progress. Next step, or next item. So now the reservations, and it's called reservations revenue, is how can I get more revenue by increasing the reservations, tee times. We have the ability, though we're not doing it, but it is capable of reservation of tennis courts. If we had squash courts, they could do it. Paddle courts, pickleball, bocce ball, dining, professional lessons. If we had hitting bays, the backboards, whatever, we could reserve those. Fitness classes, again, this ability to use from the website and on your mobile app to make reservations is a key step forward. Now let's get into a little bit more about the mobile app. So next page after that. So a little bit is Club Essentials mobile app provides the member the information that they need to history, place an order, place a reservation. It will work on Apple and Android platforms. Again, it's also a branded icon that will be in the App Store. That you'll see it, great, punch it, place an order, follow up, pay your bill through the mobile app. Great advancements. Jason, next one. Mobile ordering is the key issue that will be, again, takeout. Instead of calling, and I know a big complaint from members, I only have one phone line coming in here. I don't have a multi lines into the restaurant, so members get irritated that no one is answering the phone. I get it, I understand. We would like to accommodate that by this mobile ordering app. You will be able to order your food through the app. It gets to the kitchen, they know it's there. You don't have to worry, did they get it? Did they get it right? It's in the app. If Chili's can do it, why can't we do it? Come on. Okay, next item, the mobile point of sale system. So this is the iPads. It also works on an Android platform as well. I just use iPad because I'm an iPad guy. Again, using the cloud and placing the orders. Those orders get right back to the kitchen. I don't have to run back there and give a ticket. I don't have to run to the register. And this is what's happened. For example, you might be in a restaurant, Connie's there. Connie, I'm going to take my order. I want eggs, bacon. Okay, she writes it all down. She runs to the back. She then has to type it into the POS system. That POS system then sends it over to the kitchen to start making it. Why? Why are we doing that to Connie? Why are we doing that to the member? At the table, place your order there. Connie types it in. It's sent back to the kitchen. Great. We don't have to have all this running and everything. So that the servers are out there to serve you instead of jogging to the back, jogging back forward. That doesn't make sense. Again, improves the speed, improves the accuracy of the orders. And so, again, this is a great opportunity. Next, you see kind of the reservation piece. This is something that Elise would use, recreation, putting in the reservation. Brian could use that as well. Great, I have your tea time here. I see it here, great. This is also how the members will be able to do it through their app. Okay, next, banquets and events. So this will be key. As we get back to normal, we're able to open up again and have our great facility back to the members face-to-face, having banquets, missing the holiday banquets that we used to have. So you'll be able to do the banquet reservation. So you come talk to food and beverage. They have that ability through the iPad. Walk around. Oh, you want this? How many tables? This is the menu that we're going to be offering. Input it there into the system. So it allows, in what's called a point-and-click BEO, that's a banquet event order. It allows that to be done there while walking with the member. You don't have to say, you got to come to my office and you got to sit in there and be claustrophobic. No, I can come out here to the clubhouse ballroom and help you with that. So again, moving forward. Okay, next. Now we get to the issue of why is there a rule change? What is this thing about what's going on? So let's go over. We have used Club Essential, ClubSoft, which is a piece of the software that under Club Essential since 2006. We will be upgrading the existing system. This right here is a list of the personal data that is already collected by the association right now. Your full name, your phone number, your photo. Remember, I had your photo for the ID. Your address, your purchase history, your script balance, and your Sun Lake's ID number. That's the ID number that we assign to your account number. Now, the next page is we upgrade and we move transactions and data from our on-site server to Club Essentials cloud server. That data is now on their server in the cloud. So this rule serves as a notice that certain data will be collected, and it's the same data we've collected. It will now be not only visible through our iPads, which they have been done before, but also Club Essentials will have that data on their platform. So it serves as a reminder in the rules. This is what's happening. Your data not only is held by the HOA, Club Essential now has that data. Next page. So the reason for this is because the point of sale, and this is directly from the rules section, the effect, because the point of sale system is effectively the association's cash register system, all members, residents, and any other customers who do business with the association's golf operations, food and beverage operations, and other amenities that collect any payments will share that personal data to varying degrees through the POS system. In order, if you have a house account, you have given that data already. That data then now will be housed on the cloud platform of Club Essentials. Now, members have the option to opt out of emails, text updates, or Google Analytics. Now go to the next page. Club Essentials does not sell members' information to any third party. They are simply the platform that we use. As legal counsel had said, it is basically an overrated, on steroids cash register. That's what it is. The data is secure there. There's information. You can go to Club Essentials, you can click on Terms of Service and Privacy Policy, but the data is secure. They use Cloudflare, and there's other ones that they use to protect the data. That data is the only data. We do not have your driver's license number. We do not have your social security number. We do not have your mother's maiden name. We do not have any of that other information. Those information pieces that I let you know, or that I had on the PowerPoint, are the data that is collected already, and it will now be housed on the platform in the cloud with Club Essentials. They, again, do not sell your information. They will only house the information, and it allows us to use it so that we can bill you properly and identify you properly. That completes this PowerPoint, and that also is insight to why this rule is needed to be placed on the rules and regulations under, let me just get to that, Article 4, Section 4.0. The proposed rules to make members aware that the data collected through the transactions at the amenities, food and beverage, golf, and other amenities that is kept by the association and shared with the point-of-sale provider, Club Essentials. The data is needed to conduct sales transactions through the association's point-of-sale system. That completes the presentation and report. Madam President.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve for the first reading.
I will move that we approve the first reading of the proposed rule.
I second that. And I notice our popcorn's getting a little stale.
Okay, any other comments from the board?
No.
Any questions or comments from the audience?
So I have, sorry, I had to, one member said I have no objection with sharing the data with Club Essentials. One member stated, why do we need a third-party point-of-sale system to handle some of our finances? Am I reading this correctly? If this change is instituted and the third-party Club Essentials or other third party is involved, I will surrender my Sun Lakes Country Club card and will forfeit my right to use food and beverage services, the golf course, and other Sun Lake amenities. I noticed that they must have access to most financial information, my credit card, its expiration date. See, okay, they don't have that information. And right now, as we process your card, that card is encrypted. That data is encrypted and sent. I don't keep that data. Club Essentials does not keep that data. Once they assign, this is the transaction, send that to process, they're not keeping that data. They don't have your financial information. They don't have your CVV code. They don't have your bank account. They don't have the bank account routing number. So these, again, are trying to clarify some of the misconceptions. Also, I have Linda, Linda Vieira, I got your email. How will the new system impact annual individual room scheduling by clubs and groups, especially when 2 or more clubs want the same room at the same time? I'm thinking the clubs that desire every Monday morning and the first weekend in December, etc. So right now, this really isn't going to change the scheduling process that we have through recreation. That's not going to change. What is going to change is how I record that transaction of if it is a rented room, for example, how that will be recorded. If it is a concert and I am collecting funds, that is how this platform is going to be used. It can be expanded to say, as a planner, to say this is room reserved, just like what we're already doing. The procedures and everything that Recreation does will not change. It's just the platform where the data is held will change. And how now I'm going to be able to record transactions. Right now, Elise would have a nice little box and collect your checks and everything and put it in that box and then count it up and then send that over to Kelly. We don't want to do that. We want an electronic system to collect your credit card transaction, your check payment. It's there, you're giving a receipt, and it also allows you in your history to see that what you've spent at. So your spouse won't get mad at you that you are keeping track of what you're spending. Okay, Jason, I think there's some more questions.
Yes, I have one here. Tell me again why we had to go to an expensive POS in the first place and why we selected one that is so intrusive on our private data. And I don't believe a rule should specify a particular provider, but should be written in terms that will survive a contract change in the future.
And that rule can be modified, but we have to identify it because that is the vendor that we are using. Now, as for expense, the upgrade, I believe, with the iPads is close to $30,000 total, compared to $200,000 to $300,000 with another vendor. So the board chose the wise decision to utilize and upgrade the system that is there for roughly the $30,000. Now, again, to answer the intrusive, those data points are already being collected. They're already on a server here. That server, imagine, is now being in the cloud and at the headquarters of Club Essentials where they run their server farm for all the transactions. But we have to notify the members that that data is no longer here on site, but those data points are with Club Essentials as well.
Okay, any other questions?
Oh, Jason's going. He's reading them.
Appreciate the mobile app. Cannot see the chart. So how are the POS system transactions getting to the cloud? Assume you will still need an on-site server, but what happens when the server is not available?
So I will put all this information on the website. This PowerPoint presentation will be on after this, well, probably tomorrow. We'll have Elise upload it so you'll be able to see. And I'm sure it will be probably something that will be interviewed. Good Day Sun Lakes will be doing an interview with me, and I'm sure that will be a topic that I can go further in depth at that point. That's it.
No other questions?
Okay.
I have a first and second to approve the first reading. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 4-0.
So again, members, the community, that this is on 28-day reading. This will be on the March 24th open meeting agenda for finalization to approve or deny the rule.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have a proposed ballot item to amend CC&Rs to comply with AB 3182. Brief synopsis, the attached ballot item was developed by legal counsel to comply with AB 3182. This is a CC&R amendment that needs to be approved tonight by the board to place this item on the ballot for the annual election set for April 14th, 2021. Now, Chris, do we have to read this whole?
I'm sorry. Sorry, community, I had to laugh at that. Sandy's making me, as we get closer to the end of her term, she's making me read more. So,
Well,
actually,
do you want me to?
no.
I will read it if you want me.
We won't need to read it. And
Okay.
if I can just interject here. So you saw there was a press release done. I'm going to read from that press release from the Board of Directors that this is needed in response to the California State Assembly Bill 3182, which has modified the Civil Code Section 4741. Homeowners associations must modify, not maybe, not we'll think about it. They must modify their governing documents to remove language that prohibits or restricts the rental or leasing of any separate interests, accessory dwelling units, or junior accessory dwelling units in the association. Further, the statute requires the association and their governing documents conform to 4741 no later than December 31st, 2021. So this, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see on the website. So you can see in full detail, this has gone through legal counsel. This has been reviewed, vetted, and approved. It's on tonight because the board will be placing this on the ballot. So you will see the full language of it. This is a requirement. So we ask that when you vote, please vote yes. This is a requirement that we modify our governing documents for the Assembly bill. And any questions can be submitted to myself, Jason Ewalls, or Tammy Morgan, if you'd like to know more information. But again, this full packet is on the website as we speak.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion that the proposed CC&R amendment be added to the April 14th, 2021 annual election ballot
I'm sorry.
in compliance with Assembly Bill 3182.
I'll second that.
Any discussion from the board? Having said none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. All right. Ta-da, we're at the end. Almost. Comments from the audience?
Madam President, I don't have any email. I'm going to slide over to Jason's phone to see, or his iPad to see if there there are no comments, Madam President.
Did we lose it? Okay. All right, we'll have comments from the board. We'll start with Bob.
Yes, I just wanted to thank the FACT Committee, Ron Varner, the new person had just volunteered, Harry Finnegan, and all the members for doing such an excellent job. We really appreciate all their hard work, as well as all of the other advisory committee members and volunteers here. Our delegates working through a very, very difficult time with our pandemic here, all their extra efforts. We really, really appreciate that. And we're looking forward to eventually, in the next few months or so, hopefully, we'll be able to begin opening up the various amenities here at Sun Lakes and get back to some sort of normalcy. Don't forget to vote in the upcoming election. There's going to be a forum, 8 candidates applying for the 3 positions. There'll be a forum here next Thursday, 10 a.m. It'll be on Channel 97. It'll be on Zoom. And I'd like for everybody to participate or view it if they have the opportunity. And last but not least, I want to thank Sandy Moyer for all of her efforts and arranging and obtaining the possibility of a vaccination site here at Sun Lakes. Appreciate her and George and all of their efforts. Thank you.
Thank you. Jack?
Yes, I'd like to comment. When you get a chance to get the COVID vaccine, please, please get your shot. They're very important, they're safe, and they're very effective. So I would encourage everyone, not just 40% or 70%, but 100% of the people, especially in Sun Lakes. And when it comes to the election, make sure when you vote for 3 people. Don't just vote for 1, because that really distorts the voting period, voting numbers. So vote for all the 3 candidates you want. And we get reports from security, and I notice that speeding is still somewhat of a problem in here. I don't know why it is. People feel that they need to get somewhere quickly after you're retired. So please watch your speed limits in Sun Lakes.
Thank you. Marcia?
Thank you. Just as a reminder, as inviting as it is, walking on the golf course or riding in a golf cart on the course for pleasure is not allowed. Only golfers who are playing are allowed on the course. And as Chris said earlier, and I'll piggyback a little bit on Bob's things, to please check the Sun Lakes website, Channel 97, and the Sun Lakes Facebook page for all the information that you need about the upcoming election and the 8 master board candidates. Because of the crowd restrictions currently in place, the candidate forum, as we know it, won't happen, but it will be live streamed on Thursday, March 4th at 10 a.m., and then also recorded for viewing on Channel 97 after the session is over. So please be sure to watch this so you can make an informed choice when voting for your candidates. And then without the candidate's ability to campaign, we are really, it's kind of an unknown factor how they're going to get this information out there. So utilizing all the avenues that we have here, you'll be able to get that information that each candidate presents during the forum so that you can make that decision that works best for you. So with 3 open positions, each vote is important, so please make sure that you vote once you get your ballot. And last but not least, and I'll say it probably every time, please patronize our restaurant for curbside to-go or delivery. Your support is absolutely essential in making sure it's successful. Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you. I have a couple. First, I want to announce the list of candidates, their names. It is Eugene Gino Domonico, Lori Hazelton, John T. Jones, Howard Katz, Betty McMillian, Randy Robbins, Beverly Simmons, and Linda Spalding. When you receive your ballots in the mail, they must be returned by mail no later than Monday, April 12th, 2021 by 5 p.m., and the address will be on there. I also want to remind the residents to sign your name on the outside of that envelope, because many send them back in but forgot to put their signature, and it negates the vote, or have to try to get a hold of you to come in and sign it. So please remember to sign your name on the outside of that envelope. The date and time of the meeting at which the ballots will be counted will be Wednesday, April 14th, 2021 at 9 a.m. I think it'll be in the ballroom here. But again, it will be held virtually if the COD or the COVID-19 restrictions are not lifted. And again, the bios of all 8 of the candidates are posted on the website. I believe they're on Good Day Sun Lake. It will be. They will be. So that you'll be able to read those, because again, you can't come in and pick one up, so it's difficult. So we're going to get them out to you so you may read all of them. And as Bob and the rest of the board members alluded to, please watch the candidates forum and listen to them and the questions so that you can be better informed before you choose your 3 candidates. And last, I wanted to save the best for last. As far as updates on the shots, we are getting them, ladies and gentlemen. They are coming. We received a phone call from Rivco, Riverside County, and as soon as we signed the user agreement, got it back in, we're on the rotation. And when I say on, the gentleman's coming out tomorrow to look at our facilities, tell us how they want it set up. And when we solidify the dates, and it looks like it's going to be early next week, they will be coming out 2 days, and they will be administering somewhere between 300 to 350 shots per day. Now, how that's going to work, they will be supplying us with a flyer and the link. We will get that out to you. We're going to be working with the delegates. We're going to need your help for those residents here who are not savvy on using the computer and going to the link. So we're going to ask you and your zone captains, you know who those people are in your district, to help them get signed up for this. Third, I had said before when I went out to do this, they asked me, if we use you as a site, will you allow, for instance, Four Seasons, other 55 and older to come in? We said yes, because we want to get them out here. So this is open to us and to Four Seasons. There will be a procedure in place. So when they come to the gate and when they sign up, they have to have that form to identify them that they are from Sun Lakes, their age. I mean, it will be definitely someone from Four Seasons if they come over here to get their shots on those 2 days. Also, it'll work like they have at their other locations. They will then notify you of when they'll be out for the second shot. Because our user agreement is valid until June 1st. So we're hoping that if we don't get everyone on these first 2 days, that they're coming out when they give us the dates. And as soon as we get this, it'll go out. Now, I'm assuming it's going to be going out probably by Friday. I'm hoping we have it all. If they're going to come that early next week, we have to, so we can get this in order. And we're going to, of course, be asking the communications to help us get that out. But because we have it until June 1st, I'm hoping that there'll be another set time that they will come back and give first shots as well as the second. They will be coming back for the second, but also I'm hoping to get another set of the first shots if we don't get everyone this first time. But again, that's up to how they distribute those shots and so forth. But we are now in the rotation, and they are coming. So just wait for the directions and the dates and the times. So ending on that note, have a good evening, and we'll hear from you soon, and you'll hear from us. Good night. Oh, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good night.